Welcome to Say Like a Champ, episode 224. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Streezy back in the building. What's up, SLAC family?
What it do? We got a bunch of people checking in already, and we love to have y'all a part of our show. So we appreciate the love, support, and comments early. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. We got Moms in the building.
Yep.
Good evening. We got Unc in the building. Greetings from Texas. Anthony Wesson in the building, live from Dallas. That's what's up. We got Kelly in here. Happy Tuesday, Kelly. Pops as well. Good evening, Pops.
What up, Kelly? Pops.
And Grace, lastly, Merry Christmas. Oh, wait, not yet. Yes. That's how it feels, basically. Like, it's basically here, but, but definitely, yes. Merry Christmas to everybody.
My pockets can't keep up with the time, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy.
Can we push back Christmas till next Friday? You know what I'm saying?
You feel me?
Like Santa, what had happened was, but yeah, definitely coming up quick. We also got Stephanie Washington in the building. What's good, Stephanie? Thank you for being here with us, and live from Vegas, Stephanie is. So that's what's up. We got our slackers in the building, and we love to do that check-in. We love to have you guys as part of the show. So again, thank you for your support, and definitely, like you said, Strizzy, the holidays are creeping up on us quick. We're trying to do some preparations and get our plans right over here. But how are you feeling this week?
Man, I'm feeling good. You know what I mean? I think playoffs start for fantasy this week. So, you know what I'm saying? Good luck to everybody if you're in your fantasy playoff leagues. And a ton of football stuff happening this week, or within the last week and a half. I know you and the fam we're out in Disneyland, but just a ton of sports stuff happened this week. Some crazy upsets of football this past week. The NCAA tournament. My current favorite baseball player. We don't talk about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But there's a bunch of stuff that happened this week, man. And y'all got your lick back. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we got to get into it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff going on this week.
Yes, most definitely. Lots of stuff going on. So we'll be able to get right into it. Stephanie Washington, though, she said she's going to see G League Ignite game tonight. That's what's up.
Oh, no.
And Anthony Weston says consolation bracket for him. Yeah, man, I actually lost last week, but I still made it in the playoffs. So my dream is alive, you know what I'm saying, to keep this train rolling. So we will see how it goes. But getting ready to jump into our first topic. But before we do, we got to beam in live on location real quick. Our brother, Mad Marcus. What's good, man?
What's up, fellas, man? What's going on, man?
What's up?
Y'all can hear me okay? I know it might be a little loud.
No, we got you. We got you.
Okay.
What's good, though? You doing all right?
Doing good, man. Doing good. With the kids, so I had to come on. I missed last week, so I can't miss 2 in a row.
Got you,
man. Last week was such a short episode. You're Gucci, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. Always love to have you. But definitely thank you for being here. And let's jump right into it. Our first topic of the day, as we always do. Let's get straight to it. What's up next?
Oh, let's check it out, man, real quick.
Tune to NFL Talk. Let's get it. All right, NFL Talk. We're going to go ahead and pull up the scoreboard first. And just as always, talk about our most surprising games of the week. Honestly, this week was pretty crazy. A lot of different upsets, a lot of different unpredictable games, starting with that Thursday night game and then last night too. Both games ended up in upsets on Monday Night Football. But I wanted to start off with one real quick. I feel like Minnesota Vikings at Raiders. That game almost ended in a tie. Everybody should get their money back. And I was saying too, if it went 0-0 to like at the end of regulation, there should be no overtime. It should just be game over. Like that's an automatic tie. Y'all don't even deserve to keep going.
No, that's real. That's real.
I think they definitely do. I don't know if that's a rule. What's that?
If it's 0-0, they both get a loss too.
True. Not even a tie. Like just yeah, exactly. Like neither of y'all showed up today. But no, I feel that. I think that was my most surprising one. And obviously, we got to talk about the Cowboys. And Marcus, I don't know.
Did you lose that up?
Oh, I thought it was me.
Nah, you're still okay. He back. Back.
My bad.
he moving again.
You should have. They don't want to talk about Cowboys, man. So if you talk about Cowboys, messes up.
Exactly. But no, I was just wondering what your thoughts on that game were, Marcus.
Man, shocked. I was so shocked in that game. It just, we've been playing well the last few years. We haven't been a bad team, but this is like the first time like I really was proud of our team, how he played. Like I was proud of our kicker, like how he's a rookie, like he's doing stuff like that. That's something you're gonna need in the playoffs. And the MVP of that whole game to me was Stephon Gilmore. Like Gilmore, like I gave him a hard time, so he's washed up. I'm happy we got him, but he ain't the same guy, and he showed like he AJ Brown work up the beats of him. You know what I'm saying? He made some key plays, and we're gonna need some like that in playoffs like that. The only thing I know we still lacking. I think if we had Derrick Henry, I would say we win Super Bowl, but the run back position is gonna be really pivotal in the playoffs. But overall though, I think like we played well, man. We looked good. Like that's a great team. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't get no turnovers like that. I think they win the game. Like they turnover we got against AJ Brown, they was gonna go score. When he fumbled the ball, they probably gonna go score. It would be a different game, you know what I'm saying? But those key pieces like help us win that game, man. So I was like proud of our team, but like I said, I picked the Eagles to win. Cause they can't win they can't lose too wrong. But man, we came out to play, man. I think that shows the world like we here to really play. So we ain't out of the woods yet. We still got a couple of hard games coming up, but we win two out of those 4 games. I think we can go far in the playoffs. So we'll see. But I would probably be a Cowboy fan this week, though, for real.
Yeah, same here for sure. I mean, the way it just the ending score, but also the fact that like our defense didn't give up a touchdown to them at all. Like that's big time. When Dak did have the scoop, like the fumble that they got for the scoop and score, like in years past, I'm like, oh man, maybe that's that momentum that's getting ready to shift. You know what I'm saying? Go the other way. But we kept it moving, and yeah, we dominated in all phases in that game. It really does show though, like we're at the top of the NFC, right, with those other teams. But of course, we still got to see San Francisco again. But I am really proud of the way we're playing. And you're right, Gilmore, he has some flashbacks. I'm hoping that he's got a few more of those playoff performances type things in him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was really cool though. But I was definitely happy with the Cowboys result for sure.
But we got to talk about the next game though, the Chiefs game, and that's.
Yeah, I do want to.
That was something.
I know. I do want to talk about I want to hold off like our thoughts on like maybe like the ending of that game, right, and that part. But I was definitely surprised to see them lose another game. Buffalo played well though, like well enough to get the victory too. But I don't know if the Chiefs is this kind of like it? Like I'm wondering how Anthony feels too in the comments. Like I want to see him. But I mean, I still am not ready to like write them off. But they definitely got issues, and I know, Strizzy, you've been sounding the alarm already. But how did you feel seeing that game and how that played out?
Yeah, you're right, man. So it's kind of funny, man. I'm about to kind of like, get on them a little bit, but also come to their aid a little bit from my boy Ant. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about the last couple of days, and a couple of things. Obviously, I think Tony. This is the second game that he's cost them. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like was his fault that they lost, right?
Like specifically, yeah.
Yeah. So. The last play of the game specifically, I think it was really, really ugly. As a wide receiver, it's literally your responsibility to look to the ref after you're lined up to make sure that you are on sides, that you're not off sides, right? So he did in fact check with the ref. The only problem was though is he as he's lining up, he checks with the ref and then takes another step forward. So it was like, dog, like you were good from jump, but why did you take another step forward? And that step forward literally put like his whole body over the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog. Like you've been doing this for entirely too long. Like, and that rule doesn't change from Pee-wee to high school to college to the NFL. The line of scrimmage is line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of, as a wide receiver, it kind of pissed me off a little bit because that's too elementary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think to kind of come to also their aid a little bit is when you go back and you watch the game, homie was that offsides like 5 times that game, right? And they didn't call it. Yeah. They only called it the one time. So I think from a consistency standpoint, you know what I mean? Like the refs got to be a little more consistent. You know what I mean? If they call that offsides the first time or maybe even the second time, he probably fixes it the 3rd, 4th, and 5th time. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't. But again, it's not their responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got to watch that. If you look all the way to the other side, you'll see the other wide receiver opposite of him is also way back. He just looks so offsides. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's crazy to me. And I understand that Mahomes was a little pissed off, but you can't really be mad at the referees, dog. Like that was the right call 100% in my opinion. You gotta make that call every time when you're that much offsides. But like I think he went a little too overboard, even with talking to Josh Allen, complaining to Josh Allen at the end of the game too. That kind of really bogged me a lot too. It's like, yo, congratulate the dude. You've had this dude's number forever. He finally beats you. Like, tell that man good game. You know what I'm saying, and walk off the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you on that one. Like, and he has come back and been like, has had some statements about, that's really the competitor in him. And I get that, but that was a bad look. Like, those frustrations could have been aimed at Tony. And I get it. Like, you would think, but I think the one thing for me is like, at the very least on the ref side is like, they called the flag like immediately. Right.
Yeah,
it wasn't like it was like as the play is going and then they're like, oh wait, he was offsides. Like, so I don't think that there was like anything nefarious from that point. It just happened to happen at a really bad time when Kelsey made like a really crazy, incredible play.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fact that they still had more opportunities after that, I feel like that's the part where, for me, Mahomes got a little bit too flustered because he still had a chance to make plays after that. Yeah. And that wasn't like the last chance, right? He threw like a couple incomplete passes after that. Mm-hmm. So it's like you still had a chance to make it right, still could have overcame it.
Right.
But Marcus, what did you think on that Chiefs one?
The Chiefs always lose games like this. They always lose like 5 games, maybe 6 games, and they get to the playoffs and they are a whole different team. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that didn't surprise me. And I think the reason why Pat Mahomes got angry is because I think he was saying like, you don't have to call everything. Like, that's a little bit call like at the end of the play. Like you need a playoff, something like that. You kind of let stuff go. I think in his head, like, hey man, we've been playing hard. Like, they a little bit of call. You shouldn't call that on us. You know what I'm saying? Because I think we're Super Bowl champs, so we should get a special rights. Like, even LeBron might do something that everybody don't like a call, maybe a charge. They don't call it on LeBron because he's LeBron. You know what I'm saying? So I think he was saying like, we Pat Mahomes, we Super Bowl champs. Don't call it on us. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why he was probably pretty much mad. And I think he probably used to getting those kind of calls. They don't call it. But I think that's why he reacted like that. Like, come on, man, we the Super Bowl champs. Don't call it on us at the end of the game like that. So I think that's probably why he was probably angry, even though it's not fair. I think that's why he was probably saying that too. I could be wrong, but that's how I kind of felt. I think he knew he was offside, but don't call it on us like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably why he got angry.
Yeah, no, I feel that. That's a good point. That's a good perspective on it. As far as like, he's like, come on, like that's like a, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get us with the ticky tack. You know what I'm saying? But Strizzy, what did you think? What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say I do agree with that sentiment, but what's funny is I think the leeway that the Chiefs get a lot of times is usually more tends to say Patrick than it is like the Chiefs as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like something happens to him or something like that, then I'm like, oh no, I'll toss that. Like that's the new face. You know what I'm saying? That's the new face. We can't have nothing happening to him. But like, as far as Tony's concerned, like they don't give a damn about Tony. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't give a damn about him. But I do agree. But I do agree though. Like, but on the flip side of that, where I think Ant should actually be kind of have his hands in a little bit of prayer, is that their last 4 games are easy games. They should go 4-0, honestly. And the Dolphins and the Ravens last 4 games are actually really, really tough. So I think if the Ravens lose, if Chiefs win out all 4, Ravens lose 2, and Dolphins just lose 1, they can still get the number 1 seed. And the Ravens still have to play the 49ers, I think the Bills, and the Dolphins. They have some like they've got some games in front of them. You know what I'm saying? So them keeping that number 1 seed is actually going to be really, really difficult. We've shown the Dolphins last night. They're still the same team they've been all season. They can beat the really, really bad teams, but can't play well against the good or even decent teams. You know what I mean? Playing the Titans last night. So no worry about the Dolphins at all. It's really just waiting to see if the Ravens mess it up. So they still have a chance to get the number 1 seed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. And it will be different, but I'm like, they can go on the road if they need to too. You know what I'm saying? Like if they don't, but it is an interesting statistic that Patrick Mahomes has only played at home or in the Super Bowl. That's pretty gangster, based on that regular season success. But you know what I'm saying?
Defense travels.
Right, exactly. So I think that they'll be fine. Anthony Weston, he does say, Chiefs always go through a stretch like this. And I do agree with that. There's always like a little dip where we kind of question, like, oh, what I'm saying, is the armor the same? But you're right, there aren't that many threats in the AFC, so
Yeah,
I'm sure that they'll be fine. Pops has a good point here. Wide receiver was lined up offsides last night and it wasn't called. Yes, he was offsides, but refs warn some players or ignore it. And I do agree with that too. And kind of like to Strizzy, to your point, like there were several times, right? So maybe if they did call it earlier in the game, they're like, oh, okay, like they're watching out for it. Let me be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, let me back up a little bit.
Yeah. So but yeah, it is true that they don't make that call like consistently. So it's like it's almost like an unwritten rule where it's like I get where Patrick was like saying, like, come on, you're gonna call it now, like in this situation. So
yeah. Fourth quarter, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. That is pretty tough, and there was definitely some frustration built up, but hopefully he got that out of his system because I honestly, I don't think it was like the best look. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to come across like, I don't want to say crybaby, but kind of like a whiner. You know what I'm saying?
But him though, that's him too. Like anybody else, maybe they had a kind of reaction. We get that, but he never do something like that. You know, like OBJ, we know he gonna do something like that.
Right?
Maybe even Lamar Jackson something like that. But Pat Mahomes, he never acted like that before. So we're like, dang, what's going on, man? You know?
Yeah. It shows that he really is like not where they, where he wants to be at, like as far as like how they're playing and stuff like that. I do think that's part of that frustration coming out. But yeah. Oh, Pops, Marcus, Pops has been conferring apparently with the committee to keep your Cowboys card for now. I didn't know it was in question, but I guess you were still on that. You were still in the appeal phase, but I guess for now.
One that appeal, baby. One that appeal, baby.
Oh my gosh. Too funny.
Hey,
there,
I gotta be honest. That's fair though. That's fair.
Hey, Marcus, you know what? Marcus, you know what, man? I've never had an issue with the Cowboys. It's always been their fans, dog. So the fact that y'all guys can be, realistic Cowboys, I can appreciate that, dog. Like for real. Like so, like when you talking, like the way you talk about your boys, like that's a real fan to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm hard as hell on the Panthers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when they're good and when they're bad. So I can appreciate that, dog. That's real talk.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. Sometimes we are our own worst critics sometimes, for sure. So but looking at a couple of these other games, like we were saying, some surprising ones. Tampa Bay over the Falcons. I mean, it's like still like that division, just nobody wants to win that division, it seems like. But for me, the Jets over the Texans. CJ Stroud did take some big hits in that game, but I was really surprised Zach Wilson, after basically being benched and then they're having to talk him into coming back into the starting lineup. He did his thing and that was a really great game. But and the Jets surprisingly don't have a terrible record in the AFC.
Right. But Texans lost some weapons this week too. And you know what I think too? I think nobody's had faith in Zach Wilson, including the Jets organization, right? But I think when Aaron Rodgers of all people kind of came to his rescue or kind of came to his defense, I think that really helped boost his confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that really helped boost his confidence, and it really showed that night in that game.
Yeah, for sure. I do think that having him in his corner has made a difference as far as like where he's at right now. Anthony West says, actually the Cowboys fans here in Dallas are cool. Of course.
I believe
Stephanie says, Strizzy, you have an issue with Cowboys fans? I know. Absolutely. For real, huh? You're surrounded by us, dog. You gotta get used to it.
But it's not y'all. Y'all can be straight. It's those Cowboys fans that like who just can't let nothing go. You know what I'm saying? Like they it's the same arguments. It's the Cowboys fans where y'all can have like 3 wins at the end of the season and they'll still be like, it's gonna be our year. Like, no, it's not. Like the year is over, dog. Like it's over. It's not your year. Like
right.
That's
part of the reason. That's part of the reason why we are America's team, man. Is because like they're just coming out.
Like, I get it. I can respect the love for a squad, so I can respect all that. But man, some of y'all just it's like talking to Republicans.
Right? It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole Cowboys nation about all kinds of in there. So, oh man, that's funny though. That's funny for sure.
Oh, don't get me started on Arizona Cowboy fans. No offense, y'all.
Yeah. The Bears Lions, that was a pretty good game for the Bears there. And I'm wondering if the Lions are really what we think they were, or are the Lions kind of becoming pretenders?
Pretenders. Sorry. So it's been going on, man. I can't.
Especially after the games, like the way they're losing them too.
Exactly. And I gotta give my hats off to Justin Fields, dog. I hope they stick with him, man. Every game this kid has basically played this year, the ones he hasn't been injured, this dude's balled out, man. He is completely just balled out. They gotta understand and look at what they actually have with him now that he has a number one receiver, because DJ Moore had another phenomenal game in this game. Like, you got to give this man a chance with some, get him another weapon. You have arguably the first 2 picks in this season's draft, bro.
Right.
Go get a number 1B receiver in this draft. Go get Harrison Jr. in this one, and I think this team is easily turn around next season.
Yeah. And Pops is reminding us too that what you just said, Bears right now, as of right now, have the number 1 and number 5 picks, and that's awesome because you could get a great impact player, and then you could flip that other pick if you wanted to, or you got lots of options with that type of capital. So
exactly.
We'll see. But Unc still thinks that they're done with him. I feel like I wish they would just build around him though. Like, well, I don't know. Like, is the like attraction of like what I'm saying, one of these guys that's coming out better than what you have already? You're seeing him already, because then you have to start over and build up another rookie and have them transition. So I don't know.
Yeah. I think Caleb Williams would be great. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, man, like you never know. Like, doesn't matter how much potential somebody shows, you just have no idea how they're going to play in the NFL, man. It's so different. It's different when everybody runs 4.4s, 4.5s. You know what I'm saying? When defensive linemen are running 4.5 40s, it's so fast. Like, you have no idea how it's going to be.
Right. No, for sure. And Pop says no way Williams nor NC quarterback are better. Drake May. He did announce that he's coming out. Yeah, I agree. It's like not to that level of like where you're just going to give up on a guy, especially when he's already put in his licks and learned. Like, he's ready. You just need to get him a little bit of help. Yeah. So we'll see. Dang, both Anthony and got some predictions on what's going to happen with that. So we'll definitely have to come back to those. Several picks for Fields. And then Anthony West says Fields to the Falcons. The Falcons would be gangster, though. That'd be kind of cool.
So that would be pretty dope. Because right now the Falcons are doing horrible things with their players. Like, they ain't doing nothing with their players, and they have talent. Like, they have some actual talent on that offensive side of the ball, and they're doing nothing with it. Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Last one I wanted to comment on for sure for me, and then I'll leave it up to y'all or the slackers, but the Chargers, Broncos, Herbert going down with the fractured finger, that really sucks. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? I don't want to blame Kellen Moore, but I just feel like this is like a lost season for Herbert, like altogether, man. Like, this was a step backwards. There's definitely been a pattern. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely been a pattern, man. Like, it's crazy. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? You kind of look at how still the offense looked with Dallas the last couple of years at times, not all the time, but at times. And now you look at Herbert, who's been kind of excelling with, some older weapons and things of that nature. Then all of a sudden this year, he just looks like he's taking steps backwards. You know what I mean? And now, unfortunately, he's out for the season, about to have surgery this week. That's crazy.
Yeah, that sucks.
Who was that? Who's out for the season?
Herbert.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so he fractured like his index finger on his throwing hand. So he's done for.
Yeah, they're shutting him down. Trevor was actually in that game
this year. I love it.
What's that, Marcus?
The Steelers suck this year. I'm loving it. They was doing good, and they going back to the old self. I'm loving that. That's
true. That's a good one to call out too. It's like they have a good record. They still are 7-6, but it's like the last 2 games they've lost to like some of the worst teams in the league, which
they're
is pretty
playing
surprising.
The way. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, go.
I was gonna say they're playing kind of the way we are expecting to play right now. A lot of the games they won at the beginning of the year was like, how are they doing this? It was like, how are they losing these games and then somehow coming back and just like, you know what I'm saying, they ended up winning in the end. So like I think they were 6-3 at one point, and it was like, how is this team 6-3 with how they've been playing?
Right.
And lately, this is exactly kind of how we expect these games to be.
True. It is kind of catching up with them, because you're right. I think they were 6-3 and they had been outgained in every single game. But somehow literally. they're still coming up on the scoreboard. So that was an interesting one. But yeah, I think that's pretty good. I did want to take a quick look at the playoff pictures as they stand right now. On the AFC side. We've got Baltimore as the division leader, and like you were talking about, the Dolphins, who have a tough stretch. Kansas City is still right there, and then the Jaguars, who have been kind of disappointing, and are the Colts right behind them for their division too. So they aren't even a lock for their division.
Definitely.
And then on the NFC side, 49ers, of course, looking good. They have the tiebreaker over the Cowboys and the Eagles, having beat both of them. Cowboys in the NFC East spot for right now, but if the Eagles win out, they would have the better conference record, and the rest of their schedule looks pretty cakewalk, honestly. Yeah, but I think they play the Giants twice and the Cardinals.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. That's gonna be rough because y'all still got what? Y'all got the Bills this week.
Bills, Dolphins,
yeah,
and Commanders, and
Detroit.
Who else? One other one. Oh, and Detroit. Detroit. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a little tough.
Yeah, so definitely compared to what the Eagles have going on, that definitely is more to kind of, but it's okay because I feel like if we're still at least the top wild card, we're gonna get that NFC South winner. So
and y'all gonna be more battle tested going in. You know what I mean? Like I think a lot of people take that for granted. Like teams that are like the Ravens, like they're gonna be really battle tested going into the playoffs. You guys are gonna be really battle tested going into the playoffs. You know, I would hate to go into the playoffs playing these weaker echelon teams, and then you got to play the Dallas Cowboys again first game, or you got to play, I don't know, some other team, that's going to be up there as well, but as they're also battle tested. So,
yeah,
who knows, man? We might see them out the playoffs quick.
Yeah, for sure.
That's true. That's a good point, though. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we do.
It matters.
Yeah, it does matter. And so many times too we have seen in the past where it's like those teams that kind of come up and sneak through. Even like the Bengals a couple years ago, like they weren't necessarily the best, but then they started playing their best football going into the playoffs, and all of a sudden they were looking very scary. So So yeah, we'll see what happens on that one. I just wanted to hit a couple of comments real quick. Was Kellen the issue in Dallas? Who knows? He wanted to be playing Madden, though, and just putting up points and not necessarily protecting the defense. And it is different to see the balance this year. I got to give McCarthy credit for that, even though I didn't trust him at the beginning. He's definitely got the offense in a much better place. So
definitely, completely agree.
Yeah. Let's see. Anthony Weston says Chiefs will be playing the Steelers, scoring barrage. If it ended up like this, yeah, definitely. I think the Chiefs will be okay. And Anthony Weston mentions that they had the fifth toughest schedule so far. So, yeah, but I think the Chiefs will be good. The one that I'm actually wondering about is the Browns. With Joe Flacco having kind of a flashback and they're able to protect him and have a great defense, like that's kind of like sneaky to me. Like they might come in and upset some people.
Yeah, man, the defense is still one of the nastiest.
They already beat like the Eagles, the 49ers. Like they beat some big teams from the NFC too. So,
exactly.
I wonder I don't know exactly what the rest of their schedule looked like, but it is kind of crazy. Like it sucks that like they lost Nick Chubb that way. And, Watson can't really get healthy, but it's like they still have a really solid team around them. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, Anthony Weston mentions he did. Joe Flacco looked good. I can't lie. I was hating on him. But he did look good.
That's actually good. That's a good point too. Brownings looked really, really good. I think we all thought Bengals were cooked. And this man like he gonna get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's by the Bengals or somebody else, like this man might get paid next year.
They put up 34 on the Colts. And all of a sudden it's looking like, hey, yeah, maybe we aren't done. You know what I'm saying? We just need some decent quarterback play or some quarterback play and we're good. So we'll see. Definitely got to remind everybody though, Secure the Bag will be back. And I know a couple people have mentioned it was a rough week for the Pick'ems, but we'll be back Thursday with another edition of Secure the Bag. And this week, Alex won at 11-4, and that's Unk's homie. I think that we met at dinner, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. So Unk, I don't know if you want to give him a heads up, but make sure he knows the Super Bowl square will be coming his way, and I'll be sending that to his address when it comes time. But yeah, not too late to jump in and compete with us. And we are going to keep the competition going through the playoffs. And so even though there's less games, we'll continue to do our pick'ems all the way through the playoffs. So that's what's up.
Yep.
All right, let's keep this train moving. A little bit of interesting stuff to talk about on our next topic. All right, NBA talk. So I know we've had mixed feelings about the in-season tournament, but now it's very important because the Lakers are undefeated. I think it was definitely cool to see the Lakers come through. Being super important to LeBron. But I did want to get your guys' thoughts on the in-season tournament and that final. So, Marcus, I don't know if you want to jump in on that one.
Yeah, it was cool. Like I said, we said at the beginning, we didn't really know what was going on with the beginning of it. But I think down the stretch, it got kind of intense. The Pacers are a great team this year. I think they're gonna be a team to watch out for. They need one probably a big in there because I think Miles Turner is trash. But their point guard is good. They got good guys off the bench. They got a good team. Rick Carlisle is a great coach. So those guys kind of they put it on a big stage. They showed out pretty good, but it just showed that AD, man, like it made me a little sick just seeing him how good he played against them and how dominant he was. And like he don't have to do that every night, the 40 and 20. If you can do like 25, 28, and 15, like that's all you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it showed that he can do it, but it was a good thing. I think I love seeing what's number two, the big guy he played defense on the Lakers. Number two, what's his name? He's a tall guy with the headband for the Lakers.
Oh, Gabriel? Or are you talking about
No, I
dang,
can't think of his name.
I'm blanking.
He
But I'll get
playing
it.
defense, but I know AD, I know Anthony. I'm talking about, but he played great. I think if Cam Reddish can play that kind of basketball and hit the three shot, it's like two or three big threes. It'd be hard to beat the Lakers team. So I would have they got the first one. I know it don't mean as much, but it was kind of cool to see the Lakers win that. So overall, I think it was a good look. Yeah, Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
That's his name.
Vanderbilt. That's who.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely think it was a good look. I think the best part about it, maybe for the Lakers, is like it gives them that taste of winning, right? And those young guys too, to be like, okay, and like you said, like maybe that does reignite AD to be like, hey, when it comes to the playoffs, like do this, like dominate on people. So I did like seeing him get pumped up. He definitely went off with that, with that performance, 40 and 20. That's super dope. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of cool, and it's like you might as well win it if it's out there and you're there. So.
Yeah, I'm happy they didn't do too much. They did maybe a little bit too much winning that because it's not really a big deal. It's to me that I would have got the goggles and the champagne. That was a little too much. So I would have did that part of it because it meant like you won a championship. So I would have did that part. But the medals and everything was cool. But I was like for the next time whoever win it, don't do the champagne stuff. That's too much, dog.
Yeah, I feel you. I think too, especially though, the cool part about it is like they're in Vegas and they made that money, so it's like okay, go out and celebrate. Like I'm sure that was a good bonding moment for them though too. So, Strizzy, what were your thoughts though on the finish?
Yeah, man, it was fun. I saw Pop say AD deserved MVP, but LeBron played well. AD definitely had the best performance, but I think overall in the tournament, I think LeBron was showing glimpses of a couple of years ago. LeBron played so well in this tournament overall, I gotta hats off to them, man. They played so well, and I said the thing last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I was like, what motivates AD? And that question for me still holds true because it's like Marcus said, dog, you don't have to get 40 and 20 every game, dog. But this team is only going to go as far as AD takes them, man. It doesn't even matter how well LeBron does. It really does fall on AD, man. If AD is not giving them, these, like you said, 25, 25, 28, and 14, 15 rebounds, or even 12 rebounds, and because we had five blocks in that game too.
Yeah.
5 blocks in that game too. Those defensive stats are so important, man. And I think if AD can just be the best player, on the team, especially at the latter end of the season, you know what I'm saying? Lakers are one of my teams. I got money on them to go all the way this year, you know what I'm saying? So I think they can actually do it. So again, just my question holds true is what motivates AD. But hats off to the Pacers too, man. They've got a really, really solid team. I think they make a trade this year for possibly another All-Star. Miles Turner, I know Marcus said he's trash, but Miles Turner, in the game against the Celtics, man, he balled out. He hit almost every shot, Halliburton gave him. He just made nothing against the Lakers, you know what I'm saying? But I think that, they're young, they're super young. I can't remember who it was. I think it's their point guard, the backup point guard. He's the oldest one on the team at 30. You know what I'm saying? Oldest person on the team at 30 years old. And that's the 76ers old point guard. But it was cool, Like I said, it was we didn't really know everything that was going on during the tournament. Once it got kind of a little closer to the end, you kind of see what was going on. It gives the player something to play for. $500,000. Like A-Dub said last week, no matter how deep your pockets are, $500K is a lot of money. Probably playing for that. I had with Marcus though, it was a little bit of a crazy kind of maybe over celebration a little bit, but yeah, man, I do agree though. It gives the young guys if if this is how this feels, imagine how
Right.
the whole thing feels. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that'll kind of continue to motivate them and AD too to kind of go back and get the real thing again.
Yeah. No, I'm hoping that that's where it's at too.
I take back too on. I take back on Monster. I won't say he's trash. He's a decent player, but he was trash that game.
No, he was. No, he was.
I want to talk about trash.
He low key screwed them. He missed like every shot. This man was not making nothing.
Yeah, they did kind of shut him down, and that is one of the keys. But I feel you, Marcus, as far as like he's really solid, like he's right there, but maybe he's not the, I don't know. But I do like the Pacers though. I like what they're doing, and they're on pace for like crazy scoring numbers. So
no,
that's
for sure.
Legit. I am glad that they did not get a ring though. I think the little thing is pretty cool though. The
medal or whatever it was.
That's pretty dope. But I am interested to see because the Lakers are talking about that they're actually gonna put up a banner for it, like a small banner. But I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I'm saying? Like Staples Center, you got plenty of banners. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't really need one for that. Maybe like a little like emblem somewhere, like a little something decal, but not a whole banner. You know what I'm saying?
You see Kobe's interview when they brought this up, and they brought it up because it was trending, right? Kobe's interview when he's saying that he loves that Lakers don't post banners that aren't championship banners. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, if they don't have division titles and or conference championship banners, like it's only title banner, you can't put this one up. You know what I mean? I feel like it's got to be. I guess it's a championship in a way, but like. I don't know. I kind of like that whole like now we post championship title banners here. Like that's all we do. I kind of like that, especially for the Lakers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I don't know. I guess it depends on how it plays out, right? But if this thing goes away in a couple years, it's like you got to take that banner down. Like don't nobody remember that, Right. So I think I don't know. I think we'll see. Anthony West says the Clippers.
I had me weak. He said Clippers would. You know what I'm saying? I feel that.
Is Ben Simmons playing? Yes, Ben Simmons is playing, right?
No, he's out. He's been out for a while.
Oh, he's still out?
Yeah, his back is all messed up.
He came back, though.
Did he?
Well, actually, I don't know. Like, I know he came back earlier this year. I thought he was playing, but
oh yeah,
I don't know.
Earlier this year, most definitely. But I think he's been out for a couple of games.
Gotcha.
He's having more back issues.
Yeah, I know that's crazy. I wonder if he's ever going to be the same. I don't think so, but that's a tough part.
And as far as Scoot Henderson goes, he's not even in the Rookie of the Year conversation.
Yeah. He's still got – but speaking of somebody that is, we got to talk about the Spurs, and then we'll talk about Ja Morant after that. But that was one of my topics. So the Spurs hit an all-time losing streak, 16 games in a row. Yeah, and it's like Wemby is doing his thing, but is this like it for Pop? Because we were hoping this would like rejuvenate it, but it's not looking like it so far.
Yeah.
Pop's so bored. He gotta get the mic and say something about Kawhi on the thing. He never would do that. You know he's bad over there if he's doing something like that and introducing his players to Russell Westbrook and stuff like that. So he's not doing too good right now.
Pop just living life. He don't even care about nothing right now. He just Pop's out here living, man. But it's funny, man. Like so, I've been seeing a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just like in like the Twitter space or X, formerly known as Twitter space. You know what I mean? As far as like people are really talking about, kind of like Chet versus Wemby for Rookie of the Year. Things of that nature, just because like Chet's been so I can't remember what word they use, but he's been so solid consistency wise, like and just like his numbers are really, really high. Wemby's are high too, but I think they're complaining about his consistency a little bit. But I think that also kind of plays into Pop's system. You know what I mean? Because Pop's system is based for anybody on any given night.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like the hot hand.
I think
you're chicken already.
For Pops, I think what Pops should do is literally just let Wemby do what Wemby does. You know what I'm saying, and just let him like go off. You know what I mean? Let him be the number one option. You know what I mean? All the time, not every once in a while. Like no, let Wemby be the number one option all the time, and just let him average 27 points a game. You know what I mean? Like I feel like right now at 19 points a game or something like that. Like I just think he's capable of more, you know what I'm saying? And maybe he doesn't want him to get hurt or risk him getting hurt, get that first year under his belt. But I think part of it too is like Pop's system, you know what I mean? If Pop can just, you got a number one player right now on a non-number one team. So let your guy do his thing.
Yeah. I feel you. He's never been one like that, but there have been other situations where teams are not that great and they just let their star go and just, okay, do you. Like, we're going to ride you, see how you do.
Yeah.
And I think that might help. Anthony
Yeah.
mentions they don't have enough players in San Antonio.
Right.
I agree with that too, but it's like I thought they'd still be a little bit better than this. Like, come on, you guys sneak a win here and
I think
there.
we all did. I think we all were just kind of like, all right, what's going to happen?
But Marcus, great point though. You called it out early, man. You did make that mention earlier about the whole Kawhi thing, like a couple weeks ago or like a month ago. You were like, you don't need to be doing that stuff. So maybe you already knew that his head wasn't in the right place right now. So great call out there. The other story, unfortunately for Ja, man, back in the news, only because this is a story that happened like over a year ago, but it kind of got buried underneath all the other things that were going on with Ja Morant. But basically, he's in court testifying, and it's due to basically this pickup game, the altercation he got into over a pickup game at his house with a 17-year-old teenager, and he ended up punching the kid. And his boy, also struck the kid. And then this was the same time where they alleged that, he may have brandished a weapon or whatever. But basically, he's testifying that, he struck the kid in self-defense because he threw the ball at his face like the teenager did when they were checking the ball up during the game. I just think it's sad that, he has that much to lose, right? And he's getting that heated over a pickup game when he's an NBA player. But I'm also thinking dang, where's this 17-year-old? Because he must be pretty good that he was giving Ja the business and frustrating him that bad. But it's just sad to see right now. And I think that this was part of probably their motivation is that this court testimony is going on right now when he's getting ready to be reinstated next week by the NBA for the other things that he was suspended for. But I just wanted to know your guys' kind of thoughts on this, or did you guys agree with him saying he struck the kid in self-defense after he got hit in the face with the ball? What do you guys think about the whole situation?
You said the game was at Ja's house?
Yeah, he was having a pickup game at his house.
That makes it so much worse. And the only reason why I said it makes it so much worse is because why do you have even if you're just playing basketball, why do you have kids at the crib? That's a kid. You know what I'm saying? Go play a pickup game at the Y. You know what I'm saying? Boys and Girls Club, something along those lines. So now you invited this kid. This kid didn't just show up to your crib. You invited this kid. You put your hands on this kid or the ball on this kid, whatever the case may be.
Well, so yeah, the kid. I guess they were getting into it and they were arguing, and then they went to go do check the ball up or whatever, and the kid hit Ja Morant he threw it and it hit him in the face, and so then Ja punched him, and then it kind of started a little melee.
But that stuff happens all the time. You have any idea how many heated arguments in basketball I've got, and the dude aggressively throws the ball at me and I catch it, or have to dodge, just gonna hit me in the face or whatever. At that point in time, that's courted him out. I'm nah, we ain't having all that. You gotta go, dog. You know what I'm saying? It just to me, it's just another one of those things where Ja Morant's immaturity has just constantly been in question, and this don't help it. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't help it. But I don't know, man. Hopefully nothing else really comes for it. Maybe he could just slide him and the family some money and it goes away. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I'm wondering why it didn't happen already. Honestly, why that didn't happen already? Because this was already this was going on. This happened before I think the second video. Him so I'm he had a chance to probably squash this, and I get it if he wants to go and testify and share his part of the story, but it's just such a bad look from right when he's getting ready to go back into the NBA. He doesn't need this additional distraction. Pop says though, money grab, and the guy's not some wimpy teenager. He looks like a troublemaker and can handle himself. and that's what I was wondering though too, because I was man, he must be, he wasn't tripping, right? Or he wasn't intimidated. But at the same time, I get what you're saying, Dad, but it is one of those things where it's again, don't put yourself in that situation because you know what people are after, and you know what people you have more to lose, I guess, than just somebody on the street. So, but I don't know, Marcus, if you had any quick thoughts on the Ja Morant situation, or if you want to.
No, I don't know too much information about it, so I'm gonna keep it to myself. I'm gonna wait till it all come out. I hope he gets back in the game though and start playing again. So.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the only way to continue or to start to put some of this stuff behind him is if he does get reinstated on time, which I hope he does. I hope this doesn't derail any of that because I don't know. He just needs a fresh start though. But yeah, definitely not a good look. And how did the kid get into Ja's house? He was invited there. Yeah, they were just playing basketball. So
Mm-hmm.
pretty crazy. All right. I did want to clarify one thing before we move on. Stephanie Washington actually was saying it's her coworker Alex, so that's what's up. Thank you, Stephanie, for inviting. I know you had invited some other people in too. So if you can give them that heads up, that's awesome. And then I'll use the email address on file to send them those squares. So that's what's up.
Hey, did y'all see that real quick? Did y'all see that thing with Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett on the show talking about the top five? About Paul Pierce said LeBron not in his top five in the NBA right now, and how him and Kevin Garnett got into it. Did y'all see that?
Yep.
I didn't see that.
I won't talk about it. We'll talk about it next week, but you gotta go see it, man. They got into it big time over there, so check it out.
Yeah, Paul Pierce been talking crazy ever since he retired. Like, there's a reason why he didn't last on ESPN very long.
It's so funny though, because Paul Pierce's nickname was so awesome for him on the court, like the truth, like he was gangster, like when he was really playing, like he was like he could be like a solid player. But ever since he got off the court, like his nickname is the opposite, man. It's like he just says some blasphemous stuff. But I'll definitely have to go check that out, and maybe we'll put his top five up here and then see what the slackers think about it. But I'll have to check that out. But he's just so sad that he's didn't get the same attention. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think he should just be satisfied and happy that he got what he got. You know what I'm saying? But
shout out to KG though. I don't know whose side you was on, Marcus, but shout out to KG because his defense of it was legit.
Yeah, and he not even a LeBron fan. You know what I'm saying? So he fake against LeBron, so he don't like. But how he kept it loyal. You know what I'm saying? He kept it like real what he was saying. So I was with him 100% what he was saying. So
same.
Nice.
Come on.
Nice. I'm gonna have to check that out for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll go into. We have a couple more topics to hit real quick, and this one is just definitely, got to report on our boy Shohei Ohtani doing his thing, and we figured it would be the Dodgers. We figured it'd be at least $500 million, but 10 years, $700 million, cashing the big checks. But the very interesting thing too about his actual contract, and this is a lot of people are talking about, and I want to get your guys' opinion on as well. Some people are saying it's cheating. Some people are saying it's genius, but he's actually only going to be paid $20 million over his 10-year contract. He's going to get $2 million a year, basically from next year until 2033. And then after that contract is over, they're going to pay him the rest of the $680 million over a 10-year span. So he's going to make $2 million a year for the next 10 years. And then after that, he's going to make $68 million a year for the next 10 years. So he's basically setting up a really nice retirement package for himself. So what do y'all think about this? Strizzy, I don't know if you want to start on that, but what do you think about the move, the contract, and then how they're doing it?
Anthony took the words right out of my mouth. It's genius, man. It's absolutely genius. I know a lot of people are kind of upset about it, talk about how it's cheating, but like, I mean, like it's so smart. Like he's arguably the best baseball player in the league right now in terms of like what he can do as a pitcher and what he can do as a hitter, right? And they just signed like the best player in the league right now. And for him to defer that much money to the far ends of his contract so that the Dodgers can continue to make more moves to go and get players, like I get it, man. He wants a championship. He played a lot of years, and I'm saying on a team that just for whatever reason could not get anything done with him. And it does. It helps the team bring in more talent. The league is getting better and better, especially with with all the rule changes that happened this past season. He wants to stay competitive and give the Dodgers the best chance to win. Like I get it. Like I completely understand why people are upset about it, but I have no issues with it. I just don't. I have no issues with it. They signed him, and now he can. And keep in mind too, he makes what I think he said $43 million a year of incentives from
like his endorsements,
his endorsements and stuff, right? And that's probably going to go up now that he's a Dodger. So like, he don't care about his in-game money, and he gets it later. He's chilling, bro. I just think it's so smart in my opinion. I'm with Anthony, man. Like it's a genius move on his side.
Yeah. No, I agree too, and I think that he went to the Bobby Bonilla School of Accounting, man, because the Mets had this where they paid him like $1 million for like 15 years after his contract or whatever. But I think that's super dope, and Pops does mention that it was his idea.
It was. That's why I like it. That's why I don't care.
Yeah, so it's like to save the team the money now, and also it's like he knows he'll be straight. Like you said, he makes that money off the field, and then he knows after his playing career, even if he was just to be like, I'm done in 10 years, he'll be straight. So that's pretty that is pretty gangster though. I like it. But Marcus, what did you think about it?
I don't know too much about the thing, but I just know it's $700 million. That's crazy. So I don't know. I don't know about the 2024 to 2033. You only get 20 mil, and you gotta pay. I don't know about that part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought he would get 70 million a year, but I guess they don't work like that. So I kind of look at it different, I guess.
Yeah, so that's what he was supposed to get, but he basically asked them to structure it that way, so that way during the actual contract, while he's playing for them, he only gets $2 million, and then they can defer the rest. Because he's like, I want you to go out and keep basically buying other people and having like an all-star roster type of thing.
Oh, okay,
so
okay, gotcha. Okay.
He didn't want to end up like in a similar situation with the Angels where they had like him and Trout paying them all that money, and then they were like, all right, that's it. So, but yeah, Anthony Weston doing the taxing and the accounting on that a little bit after how much it would be after taxes, especially in LA. That is pretty crazy, but still, that's dope. And I think the structure probably helped him get to that bigger number too, because I don't think anybody else was going to bring out 700 million, or make that type of commitment. So that's just super exciting, though. Great for baseball. And now let's just see if the Dodgers, they better not find a way to screw this up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I mean, at this point, I'm like, I don't know. Like, if they don't do it this year, Dave Roberts got to go. That's just how I feel about it, I guess, because they just don't have the manager to take them. They keep adding players, and that's awesome. Get yourself an all-star roster, but at some point, you're going to need a manager that can actually take them over the top or make those right moves.
Definitely.
For sure. So that was super exciting, though. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, man. Moving from South Los Angeles and Anaheim to Hollywood. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah.
The last thing I wanted to do real quick, and I know we haven't had a chance to talk about this all together, but the college football playoff, games have been set, right? And we have our New Year's Six. And I do want to give a shout out to Missouri, man. Making the New Year's Six Bowl at the Cotton Bowl is super exciting. I hope that they come out and beat Ohio State, and I think that they have a great chance to, as long as they play their game. So I think that's exciting. Georgia, Florida State is very interesting that they're a 14-point favorite over Florida State, the undefeated Power 5 champion that didn't make it in. But I do expect Georgia to kind of show out and at least not just play like their youngsters and stuff. I hope at least some people play and stuff and really start to show out for them. But
man, I gotta say something, man. Like I gotta say, I know you're not gonna say it. I think college football got it wrong this year, like big time. I'm a huge Longhorn fan. You know, I love Longhorn. We got in, but if a team won back-to-back championships, there's no way they shouldn't have been in the playoffs. I just don't get that. You didn't give them a shot to go and defend their championships pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I don't like how Alabama got in. I don't like how Florida State, they didn't get a shot to go in and do it also. So, but the whole thing about Georgia, I'm not a Georgia fan, but they won back-to-back big championship. They won, like, it was a big deal. They went undefeated. They lost one game, and they don't get a shot to defend their title. That's crazy to me because they want Alabama to win. We know right now that's the best team in the playoffs to me. So I don't like how they didn't get a shot. I don't get that. So I pretty much don't even want to watch the playoff really because it's not fair. The people pick the people that they want to put in there, and it's not fair. So I don't think I want to support it. And, you know, I'm a big Longhorn fan, but I want to see it done fairly. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't do it fairly. Florida State and Georgia should have been in there. That's how it should have been. So I'm gonna say it. I know you're not gonna say it, but it's not fair how they did that. How they did the Dogs. So it was kind of messed up.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I mean, it's crazy because like their own criteria is supposed to be the best teams, right? And if you look at like who made the playoff, like even in a rematch against Alabama, like I think Georgia has a shot to beat any of those teams, right? I don't know. Like it's just it does suck, but it's like we lost that final game. And I guess that's the only part for me that's like makes it a little bit easier to swallow is like, dang, like we lost. Like we put our destiny in somebody else's hands and that's what happened. So it sucks. It is a tough pill to swallow, but it's like I'm okay with it, I guess. Like I'm not gonna be too outraged, I guess, even though it sucks. But
Did it? What year was it? I think maybe Alabama or maybe Georgia was number one, and then they lost, but they still ended up at number 4.
yeah, yeah, that was 2018 going into the Rose Bowl. Like um that was yeah, they both Alabama and Georgia were undefeated going into the SEC championship game, and Georgia lost and dropped to 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of like why I'm with Marcus in the point where it's like I feel like this is kind of the same thing, right? Not to mention Alabama was like number 8.
Yeah, I think they were actually 7. I
7?
think.
Okay. Still, like
Mhm.
7, you beat the number 1 team, so they fall all the way out. Like I'm kind of, I mean, I just totally understand both sides, but I still think Georgia should be in. I get it. Washington's had a great year. Their quarterback is, had a phenomenal year too. But like, I don't know, man. Like something like Marcus said, I feel like the biggest part of that is like a back-to-back champ not getting that opportunity to at least compete for that three-peat. You know what I'm saying? Like it just feels wrong to me. I completely understand why Florida State's out. Like, yeah, you got through those last like 2 or 3 games without your quarterback, but barely. You know what I'm saying? Like really barely. And to think that they were going to go in there and compete with any of those other teams in the thing, like I don't think it was going to happen. So I see why Georgia's a 14-point favorite. Although they can't lack because I think Florida State has a ton to prove, right? Like
Right.
they're going to go into this game, I think, really, really, really motivated. Not that Georgia's not, but Florida State, they're hurting. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, we should be here, blah 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 blah, whatever.
Right.
Just can't slack on them. I think they should cover that spread. But like it don't feel right for me to say for Georgia to not be in it, losing to Alabama, undefeated, SEC championship, and not get a chance to fight for the three-peat. Just don't feel it. It feels wrong for some reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it here too. I think I don't know how to say his name. Steve. I don't know how to say it. The Texas Longhorn coach,
Sarkisian?
Nick
Yeah.
Saban. They know somebody on the committee, dog, because they both got in. They know somebody on. I'm being serious. They know somebody on the committee. Because how you both y'all get in? You know what I'm saying? And just like I just don't. And then Alabama was number 8. We was number 7 at one time. So they were number 8. Now they in the playoffs. So Alabama shouldn't. I don't know. I don't get it, man. They shouldn't be in there. I'm just straight up, man. So that's all I'm gonna say about it.
No, I feel it, but the only thing now is, even though it feels awkward to me, and I'm like, I don't mess with Alabama, but now I'm like, well, then you might as well go in and win it. Then, like, if you're gonna take our spot, like, you better win. Then, like, that's kind of how I feel too, because I don't necessarily want Michigan to win it. Like, it'd be kind of cool if Texas did. But I'm just like, man, if you're going to get in it, then you better win. You better not get beat down by Michigan like in that first game. So we'll see. We'll have to make some predictions about those actual games too. But you know what I'm saying? Like almost because like they're the one that beat us. I'm like, all right, then they better not like flop and they better not like lose. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
It's Auburn's fault too. Auburn should have never lost that game.
True.
4th and 30. It's your fault too.
Facts.
True. That should have been that. Yeah, you're right. That should have been
give them a game-winning touchdown.
A couple losses. Yeah, they should have had 2 losses and been out, all the way. But
yeah,
it's just crazy how it plays out. But I do think it will have kind of a adverse effect on the playoff. I do think there's a lot of people out there that are like, man, we don't even want this. Like it's kind of bogus, right? So I do think that the viewership might be down a little bit because just of the way it played out, and especially with Florida State being undefeated and being like, we didn't get our chance, But we'll see. But we'll definitely be doing some predictions, and we'll be pulling out some of the other bowl games. I will say that Oregon versus Liberty is probably like the worst matchup, man. Like,
yeah, I saw that. I was like, really?
I'm like, but I am excited to see Georgia, Florida State, and I am really excited to see Missouri, Ohio State. Like, I hope they take Ohio State out. That'll be super cool. Yeah. But yeah, man, I think that's it though. And as Anthony reminds us, it's 12 teams going forward. So that's the thing. I think the best part about it for the committee is, yeah, they made a bad one this year, but nobody's going to be happy no matter what they said this year. And at least this is the last year of it. Going forward, it'll be 12 teams, and we'll let the 13th and the 14th team complain, but we'll at least get to see a bigger playoff field. So I think that'll be cool. Anthony Weston said he's probably going to the Cotton Bowl. Yeah, that's right there in your backyard, man. You got to go. You got to represent that MIZ. So, and then Unc says go Seminoles. They definitely do have a lot to prove, but I hope Georgia takes them out, man. We can put all that to bed.
Perfect.
We'll see.
Man, you know Georgia gonna kill us, guy. I feel sorry for this. He wanted me.
Yeah, they gotta put them down bad. We'll see. Hopefully they do them. Yeah, they do them dirty, but yeah, both of those teams do have a lot to prove, being kind of like those last people out. So it'll be interesting. I think that's it for tonight, though. NBA's back in action, so that's what's up. Yeah, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Strizzy mentioned the fantasy playoffs are here, and we only have 4 weeks left of the NFL. So getting ready for that playoff crunch. But we'll be back on Thursday. Anything else you guys wanted to mention, though? I feel like I'm missing something we were going to talk about, but there's always next time, though. So
yeah, that's real. That's real.
We'll always be back next week.
We want to hit it all.
All right, that's what's up. Well, we'll leave it right there. That was Say Like a Champ, episode 224. We'll be back on Thursday for Secure the Bag. And until then, it's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy. You go on mute?
We out. Peace.